Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video, and well, now it's going to be technically the fourth video about Shredder. I woke up this morning to DMs from a couple of different people actually, asking my opinion on the Shredder situation. I'm like, what Shredder situation? What are you talking about? And it's like, the fact that he is legendary is down here. And I'm like, how do you know that? Because I just woke up, you know? It's like, well, he's in the gallery. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. So, we know that Shredder's here, Shredder's in the gallery. So I was kind of asked my opinion, and like, I thought, you know what, talk about it in a video. So we're going to actually go in here because there's a reason for this, because you can't actually see all his stats there, but you can see stats if we go in here. Right, so I historically speaking, I've not been someone who's had an issue with legendaries, okay? I think that sometimes they are a good thing for light spenders, because, or even for whales as well, because like, it's not always good to be expected to spend, I don't know, for some people it's $100, for some people it's $1,000 to get a unit done, right? So I do think that legends do have a place in the game. But one thing I said, if you go back to not too long ago, I put out a video called I think this is the worst unit they've ever put in the game, and it was talking about Flame Chun-Li, and it wasn't talking about the fact that I think Flame Chun-Li is a bad unit. I just think that Flame Chun-Li is such a necessity that I don't like the fact that they introduce a unit that is like a must buy. You kind of need this unit to compete in one aspect or another of the game. And while I don't know quite if Shredder falls into that category, he does in one capacity, right? So if we go and look at Shredder, you can see there that Shredder's base speed is 136, right? And when Shredder has all of his cars, Shredder gets a 60 boost to his speed, okay? So that would put him at what, 196 without having fast chanting equipped, okay? So it puts him to like 196 speed. Now if we go and compare that to the current fastest unit in the game, man, technically I don't know if Vega's faster, right? But even if Space Vega is faster, it still doesn't outspeed this. If we go down to this guy, who's predominantly, so without fast chant he's 116, and if we go into his skill, you'll see that his passive in total, it gives, I don't know if that's 10 plus 50, I've never been 100% sure how that works. He's either getting 50 additional speed, or in fact, you know what, we can just check really quickly, right? So I'm just going to quickly do a battle. So 116 speed, we'll go to, we'll go to here, and what team has got Bisang, we'll throw you up here. You'll see right at the start, right? So his speed is 194, right? So leave. So 194, that's me also getting speed from having equips. So technically, if we go back in here again, let's just take off these equips just so that I can actually get his baseline speed here. So we'll go back in, speed 176, right? So leave. So we'll go back to Bisang. Did I say 176? Aye, so it is 60, it's the 10 plus the 50, right? I thought it might stack, I just wanted to be 100% sure. So he has got his speed of 176, right? So if we go back to here, and we go back to Fighter, Gallery, scroll down, we can bring up Shredder, we can go into Bio, Trial, click here, Start, we'll see his speed here, it is 196, right? Is that not the same? No, his was 176, wasn't it? 176, 196. So you can see there we know anything equipped. He's got 20 more speed. Now, bear in mind, if you put fast chant on him, whatever, if you've got your equips, you are going to get a significant amount of speed. So he's going to be the fastest unit in the game, right? We're not really going to go over his kit or anything like that now, right? But he is going to be the fastest unit in the game, which in one respect makes him probably one of the most desirable, if not the most desirable units for PvP, because there is certain teams, one could argue the Bison team, who realistically, who's doing your C1 or your C2 isn't that important, right? You could put Shredder onto your Bison team. Do you need to necessarily go first on your Bison team? Probably not, but it helps. You could potentially put him on your Bison team. You could put someone like Virgil, if you have him, on top of him, which is going to help him survive anyway. He could be the C1 in your combo chain. You're going to go first, and that could make a huge difference to whether you win the battle or not. That still leaves you with your Zangief, who can go onto your Vega team, and you're just going to do a lot. You're going to outspeed most people. In fact, you're going to outspeed anyone who doesn't have this guy, like hands down. So in that way, it kind of makes him a must-have for PvP. I don't like that though. I only don't like that because he's paywalled. This is what I said about Flame Chun-Li. I don't like the whole aspect of this unit's must-have. You will hear people saying that now. You are going to hear people saying that this unit's a must, and it's because no matter what he does in the rest of his kit, his speed pretty much makes him a must. It's like EX skills, right guys? You'll know that there's some EX skills that some of us get to 3 stars, and it's not because the EX skill is actually good, it's because it gives you speed. Speed is probably the most important stat in this game for PvP, because as long as you've not built an absolutely terrible team, the person that goes first is probably going to be the person that wins, again, unless you've got a terrible team. So it kind of takes Shredder and it makes him a really must-have unit, which again, I don't like that pressure being put onto people, because it is almost like if you do not spend, you do not get to keep up, right? Now, the other aspect of this that I think's probably a little bit, well, there's no probably about it. I mean, I get plenty of comments already telling me this before this has been revealed. They announced a rerun, right? Let's put it as what it was. They announced a rerun, and people were disappointed, and then people thought, Shredder's coming, and people immediately got happy. The vast majority of those people were free to play. The vast majority of those people were free to play, and they thought they would have a chance of getting this unit, and they now do not have a chance of getting this unit. And I know there's going to be the whole comment section. This will happen on Reddit, right? I guarantee you, when people make posts talking about the fact that this is a legendary unit and it sucks, and they put it up on Reddit, they'll get the common stock replies of, oh, cry more, poor boy, and all the rest of it, or you're poor just because you don't have money. You know what I mean? That's the way people are. People are assholes, right? But it's going to make a lot of people who were very hyped quite disappointed, right? Because, you know, they now have zero chance of getting this unit, and we cannot judge people who decide not to spend on these games. Like, again, assuming they discount him. I mean, they've done it with every unit. I mean, I assume they'll discount him. I don't know that for sure, but I assume they will discount him. Imagine they didn't. Imagine they just left them at $100, right? But I do assume they will discount him. But there's some people that, if you say to them, you can have this unit's really good, he's great in game, he's going to cost you $50. Those people are going to be like, well, no, because I can buy like 6 games off of Steam on the sale, or I can buy 1 full price title or whatever. And can you judge them for that? Well, no, because do you know what? They're actually smarter than people like me and other people who are spending $50 on 1 unit, because let's be real here, guys, it's not good value, right? It's good value in the economy of the game compared to other things, because other things are ridiculously expensive. But remove yourself from that in-game economy, it's terrible value. It's terrible value, right? The money that we spenders spend on these games is ridiculous, right? Can we just cut the crap here and admit this? It's ridiculous. The pricing of these units is goddamn ridiculous. People, they actually complain about paying 15 quid or 20 quid to Capcom for character passes where they get like loads of characters over a long period. They complain about paying £15 for story DLC in games, yet people drop $50 to $1,000 on units and gacha games. It's madness, right? But it's going to make a lot of people upset. And to be fair, you can understand it. You can understand it because they have used this guy as the one thing that makes this not the same as every other collab. Rerun, sorry, right? Okay? And worse than that, now we don't know. They spoke about Shredder. The way that the tickets look, it still looks like it's going to be 2 parts, right? And people have instantly went, oh, it's a shame they've added Shredder and they're not going to add Splinter. Well, it now looks like they're probably going to be adding Shredder in part 1, right? So, maybe we are going to get Splinter in part 2 and they've just not told us yet. But I'd say that the odds are now, if they've made Shredder a legend, you would expect that that's probably what they would do for Splinter if they brought him along as well. Now, I'm not starting speculation now to say we're going to get Splinter. I'm not. I'm just saying that if they've shown Shredder now, because Shredder's in the first part, and they are going to do a part 2, as the tickets suggest, and they're going to bring out the opposite number to Shredder, who is technically Splinter, you know? I think, was he his master or something? Or something like that, I don't remember. But it would make sense that he would be part 2, and it would also make sense now that he would also be a legend. I don't know, it's disappointing. I mean, people, you guys know I've spent money in this game. I don't spend a lot of money in this game anymore, but for me, if I want this guy now, it's awesome because I get to keep my tickets. But I'm trying to think about it from the point of view of like most of the general player base, because most of the general player base don't spend. Like, most of them don't spend. And I don't know. I don't know. Like, the fact that I've already had like 3 or 4 DMs and I've only just woke up talking about this makes me think that people in general are probably not going to be too happy about this. Again, I do think that legends do have a place in the game. I do. I've always said it, I do. I don't think it's actually that unfair. I just don't think that they should be meta influencing. They can be good. They can be good. They can be good. Let me just be clear about that. They can be good. I just don't think they should be like Flame Chun-Li, where they have something really specific about them that is going to make them above other units. And for this guy, it's going to be speed. This is before we even look at his kit, and I'm deliberately not looking at his kit right now. I don't want to do that because this is not a unit review video. But even if he is not that great, his speed alone makes him a completely valuable asset to have, 100%. And again, it's going to suck to be someone who just doesn't have this unit, and I'm actually really surprised that they went down the legend route. Mainly because they're leaving so much money on the table. Right, let's be clear here. I've said this. When I made the video with Pika, I said that they might make him a legend. The only thing that makes me think that he won't be a legend is for what people spend up to $1,000 summoning these units. 20 people need to buy that legend at $50 to make the same amount of money as one whale going hard to max out a unit. So just based on past performances of legendary units like your Nero, who did not do that well, like your Fashion Ken, who did not do that well, hence the reason Ryu ends up being a summon. Historically speaking, maybe apart from Flame Chun-Li, legends actually haven't done that well. So honestly, I thought that they would just stick to their tried and true and make him a summon. I did. And it seems not, which again is great for the maybe 5, if I'm being generous, 10% of the player base who are willing to actually spend on units. But for the other 90%, who people are quite happy to tell me in comments that free-to-play are so important to the health of the game, this is who it screws. So I don't know why they made this decision. I don't know if, generally speaking, most of the player base will be happy. Even on that podcast thing I done with Pika, there was people saying if they make Shredder legendary, I'll quit. So will they do that? I don't know, but there's your answer. There's Shredder. He is a legendary unit. Again, if you're someone willing to spend, it's good for you, but for the 90% of the player base who are not willing to spend, maybe not so good for you. So I ask you this question: if you're currently free to play, will you break that to get Shredder? Do you care? Does it make any difference to you? Are you upset? Are you happy? What's your thoughts? Just drop a comment down below. I know if you're a spender, I know what your thoughts are. You're happy because you're like, Jesus God, thank God, I'm not going to have to use all my tickets. But if you are someone who's maybe not in that camp, what's your feelings about this unit? Let me know in the comments down below. Like I say, I like Legends to a certain extent. I just don't think they should be really meta changing. And honestly, I said this again when I was speaking with Pika, DPS units, I want them to have soul power. So, like, realistically, the fact that he doesn't have soul power, I'm not saying makes him bad, that's not what I'm saying. It's a shame, because really, you start to see numbers really flying off the charts and units really excelling with soul power, and that's kind of what you want from a DPS. But we'll need to see him in real world performance, right? There's no point in even checking the trial, because he will look good in the trial, but that doesn't matter. It's where he's going to look in other things like PvP, bossing and stuff like that. But his speed alone, sadly, it's going to be a case of if you don't have this unit, whoever you're fighting, if they've got a team that will beat you if they go first, you're going to lose, because he is going to make them go first. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.